I did a lot of walking today. Finally got my visa from the consulate, so I'm ready to go to Taiwan in a couple weeks. Super excited about that. Right now I'm just chilling at the park, laying down on the grass, trying to take a break from walking around, get off my feet for a bit, soaking in the sun as much as I can. The other day I had a thought about putting my longer term goals into perspective by way of using short term wins that I've had, or like recent wins that I've had. Please excuse the bus noise in the background. And to use a specific example, this could be related to anything, honestly, but the example that I was thinking of a couple of days ago was, at some point in the future, I want to do an Ironman, complete an Ironman, and it'll take some progressions. Like I'm obviously not going to start off with an Ironman or a half Ironman. I'll probably honestly start off with a super sprint, which is even shorter than a sprint triathlon. I'm not entirely sure what the distances are. I looked them up a little while ago. It's like 400 meter swim, maybe 10 kilometer bike or something, and then a 3 kilometers of running, 1.5 miles, maybe something like that. Now that's super short in comparison to a full-on Ironman, but still, it would still take a decent amount of, I'd say more than decent amount, to be honest, a pretty hefty amount of athletic ability to complete even a super sprint triathlon. An athletic ability that a lot of people don't have, I would say, at least. And before I even go on saying that, let me say right now that I straight up would not be able to complete a sprint triathlon, a super sprint triathlon. I could bike and I could run. I could do the bike and I could run, but as of right now, I'm a horrible swimmer, so not that bad, but I could swim 150 meters maybe, but 400 is probably a stretch. And that's exactly why it's important to put the longer term goals into perspective. A full-on Ironman is a 2.4 mile swim. A marathon at the end, and I forget how long the bike ride is, but some absurd mileage. Just after saying that I couldn't even complete a 400 meter swim, even thinking about a 2.4 mile swim for a full triathlon is the most daunting thing I could possibly imagine. The most daunting thing I could possibly imagine. I mean, if I tried it right now, I promise you I would die. I'd be at the bottom of the lake, ocean, fucking whatever I'm swimming in. Excuse my language. But then I got to thinking, okay, 2-3 months ago, I straight up couldn't have even imagined where I'm at right now. Well, okay, I could have imagined it. I'm exaggerating a bit, but I would have laughed in your face if you had told me that by the middle of the summer, I'd be going for 2-mile runs on my lunch break. 2 miles 2 miles before 2 months ago for me was out of the question. You know, I had sort of titled myself as a short sprinter, so like nothing over 400 meters almost ever, unless it was one of those 1 in 50 workout days where we had to do something like a 400 meter ladder that went up to 600 and back down to 400. But yeah, to think that I would even run a mile on a day that I needed to work out was just like absurd to me. You know, like it wouldn't even come to mind, wouldn't even come to the surface level of my mind. And like now I'm out here running 2 miles during my lunch breaks. And then at the start of this journey, I was running a mile every morning, very slow, obviously. And like these, in comparison to a lot of other people, like it's nothing to scoff at, but you know, we've all heard comparison is the thief of joy. So I'm not really too worried about what other people are doing. It's more of just like where I was 2 months ago and where I am currently. Now, there's still so much progress to be made if I want to complete a full-on Ironman, because an Ironman is 26 miles, 26.2 miles, a full-on marathon. At the end of a 2.4 mile swim and then a however many mile bike ride. But still, like, the scariest part to me is doing that swim, because for my entire life I've never been a great swimmer. But to circle back to what I was saying before about the necessity of putting your longer term goals into perspective by way of using your shorter term wins, like the small wins that you've had recently. If I gotta stop saying sort of. If I put that swim in relation to my running right now, I can see how much I could progress in the coming years with my swim, right? It's only taken me 2 months to get outside of my comfort zone. Well, I mean, I guess it took less than 2 months to get outside of my comfort zone, but it's taken me 2 months to increase my running ability, my cardiovascular health to a degree that I'm very proud of. So who's to say that I can't do the same thing with the swim, right? Like, I've never been a great swimmer, as I said before, and I haven't been swimming at all. Like, I probably haven't swam in, I don't know, like 5 months at this point. Last time I swam was at school. But it wasn't even like a swimming workout. It's just, I was in the pool kind of chilling. But who's to say that progress that I make with swimming wouldn't be as prominent as the progress that I'm making with running right now. So I think it's important to just sort of map out longer term goals with these smaller wins that I've been having recently, you know, because if it's great to have like these long-term goals, like these huge aspirations for what you want to do in the future, but it can be, in my mind, very daunting, for me at least. So if I if I give myself proof that I can get better, that I can increase my skills of things that I've been doing in the past week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, couple of months, then that will, I guess, give me motivation and drive to know that these longer term huge aspirations are first of all worthwhile, and second of all doable. That'll be all for now. Get some sun, go for a walk. I'll catch you in the next one.